Oh, hello guys, my name is Jack, and today I'll be showing you how to repair armor in STALKER GAMMA. The process is similar to how you repair weapons, but you'll be needing different tools and equipment, eh? The worse your armor condition is in, the less effective it'll be at basically everything, and there's a huge difference between armor in good condition and armor in bad condition, eh? Check tutorials! Yippee! So you found a pretty neat looking piece of armor, but it's all roughed up. Well, I can show you how to patch it up. Just let me give you guys a quick summary of each step, eh? Number 1. Getting a disassembling tool, sewing thread, and field armor toolkit. Number 2. Finding and repairing the armor parts. Number 3. Obtaining an armor repair kit. And number 4. Replacing the armor parts. So here we go, let's get started on step 1A. Alright, so for this video, I'm gonna use this banged up piece of medium armor as an example. Before we get started on finding and repairing the parts, we need to make sure we have everything we need when we get them. A multi-tool is recommended for this since it's also used for weapon disassembly. But if you have a Swiss knife or another disassembly tool, then you can use that to disassemble armor as well, eh? The disassembly tools, thread, and field armor toolkit can all be bought from technicians. There's a pretty chill guy in Northern Cordon. Sometimes other vendors will have some of those things as well, eh? The Swiss knife or multi-tool is used to strip armor for their parts, while the sewing thread and field armor toolkit are used to repair those parts. Now that we have our tool, go ahead and start stripping every enemy you come across and disassemble their armor, eh? You can press left out to quick loot, which should help speed up the process. So in order to repair our armor, we need to find most or all of the individual parts in this case that make up the armor in 50% condition or better, eh? You don't necessarily have to get every part, but it's better to do so, and you'll see why later on, eh? So why 50% you ask? Well, that's because that's the minimum condition the field armor toolkit is willing to repair, eh? You can also purchase armor components from technicians depending on what they have in stock at the time. Those will always come in perfect condition, eh? Once you've killed enough baddies and have collected each or most of the armor parts in 50% condition or better, we can start patching them up. As you can see, it's a bit simpler than the chart I used in the weapon guide, as there are only 2 predominant repair tools used. You can use the sewing thread to patch up the cloth items, and you use the field armor toolkit to patch up everything else. If you've obtained 2 of the same type of armor part, you can press use on the field armor toolkit and combine the 2 to get more repair out of a single use than you would with other bonus supporting items. So get all your armor parts patched up. It doesn't have to be 100%, but do aim to get them in pretty good condition, eh? So armor in STALKER GAMMA comes in 4 different classes: light, medium, heavy, and exoskeleton. In order to find out which repair kit you need, just pick the same type of repair kit as your armor. Now there are a few different ways of obtaining an armor repair kit, but each of them have their own caveats, eh? You can find one in the wild, but that's pretty rare and unreliable. You can purchase one from a vendor, but you'll need to have finished a quest or 2 for them beforehand, before they stock it, eh? And lastly, you can craft one yourself, but what you'll need will be basic, advanced, or expert tools depending on what type of armor you're trying to patch up. And those are found in stashes around the world, eh? Alright, so once you have an armor repair kit for your armor, head on up to a workbench and let's start swapping those parts out, eh? Unlike weapons, you can't just drag and drop parts, so it has to be done at a bench, eh? But don't worry, the process is still pretty lenient. Now in the repair tab, you can swap out each individual part and bring that overall durability number up, eh? So this part works a little bit differently than with guns. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I said you may not need every last part in perfect condition. So the basic armor repair items, such as your glue tubes and sewing kits, those can actually repair each individual part instead of just the overall condition when you're applying them to a full set of armor. That means the aim of our little workbench session is to get the overall condition of your armor up to the minimum usable condition of your best basic repair item, eh? You've probably already collected a bunch of these along the way, so for example, if the best glue tube you've collected is the S.T.A.L.K.E.R glue tube that lets you start using it once armor's at 80, you need to replace parts until you hit 80% condition, and then the glue tube can take over the rest of the process, eh? And if you have a heavy sewing kit, then that means you only need to raise your armor to 65% condition in order for you to start using it, eh? If you still can't reach that, then 50% is the minimum overall, where you can use directly your armor repair kit on it, but it'll consume one use, whereas doing it from the workbench doesn't, eh? So basically, the better condition you get your armor from swapping parts, the cheaper the rest of the process will be to get it to 100%, eh? And that's because repair kits and sewing kits are expensive. The process is pretty much the same for all light, medium, heavy and exoskeleton armor. Just remember to use their respective repair kits, eh? Exos are slightly different since they also require power, so you'll have to charge them with an exo battery pack on top of everything else, eh? In order to get the most out of them. They also feature a new component, which is the exo frame. Though it seems to me that can be repaired last once you raise the exoskeleton condition to 60% or better, and then using an exo repair kit on it to raise the overall condition, which in turn will repair the frame as well, eh? So overall, if you have an armor repair kit, your goal should be to patch up and replace parts until your armor's overall condition is 50% or higher. Then you can use the repair kit, then glues, to go the rest of the way, eh? Well, congratulations, you'll now have a cool new set of armor, and you can go around the zone tanking bullets like a boss. Or but probably not, eh? Be sure to maintain your armor constantly with glue tubes before it falls too low in condition, otherwise you might find yourself using another repair kit, eh? Or worse yet, scavenging for more parts. Well anyway, my name has been Jack, and I'll see you in the next one!